Yeah, like a naughty big chop, feel like zombies are hunting. Wet 'em up, get 'em running like bosses. God, I'm really about my village, I'm not mixed, bitch, I got drippy, not dripping, please. You ain't spark shit, you know, killer bee. Y'all sharks swimming ain't shit to me. Bigger fish to fry, but not big as me, we in a different league.
So, the past few days, I've been rewatching Seven Deadly Sins, and suddenly, a video idea popped into my head. A month prior, I had just caught up to the animated series of Invincible and read the entire comic, and I wanted to see if the Guardians of the Globe, both past and present, could stop an invasion by the Ten Commandments. To make this fight a bit more fair, let's say that the Ten Commandments just broke out of the seal and can't use any of their magic power, so it's just them with their spirit, physicality, and their commandments, of course. To start with, I'm going to scale the Guardians of the Globe. Something I noticed while I was writing this script is that nobody really scaled the Guardians of the Globe like that. It was always Invincible or Omni-Man, or any of the high tiers. So I'm most probably going to be the first one to actually scale the Guardians of the Globe. Well, that's it, here we go. When I say past and present, I mean the original with Omni-Man as backup and the new Guardians led by Rudy. For your information, I am never going to call Rudy Rex. Rex is the GOAT, do not use his name in vain. I fucking hate Rudy, by the way. Okay, never mind. The new Guardians consist of heroes like the Teen Team, Bulletproof, Shrinking Ray, Invincible, Brit, and Black Samson. Now, as you most probably know, most of these Guardians are fodder who would lose to a white demon. So I'm mostly going to be discussing the heavy hitters like Red Rush, War Woman, Immortal, Omni-Man, Bulletproof, Rexplode obviously, Adam Eve, Robot, Monster Girl, Invincible, and Brit. Note, I won't be discussing Powerplex Team, the Capes, or the Wolves. This will just be the Guardians of the Globe, Omni-Man, and Invincible versus the Ten Commandments, because even if I were to add the other teams, it wouldn't make much of a difference in this video. Okay, so starting off with Red Rush. He's able to react to Omni-Man aiming to kill Immortal as quickly as possible, and according to him, every second feels like hours to him. So we can use that statement to try and calculate how fast he moves as a bare minimum. Now let's say that each second to Red Rush is like 5 to 6 hours. There are 3,600 seconds in a single hour. This would make Red Rush's perception of the world 18,000 to 21,600 times faster than that of the average person. To calculate his speed, let's assume that an average person runs at a speed of 10 meters per second. Multiplying this by how fast Red Rush is compared to a normal person, then we get Red Rush's speed as being about 648,000 kilometers per hour to 777,600 kilometers per hour. That's 405 to 486,000 miles per hour for my American viewers. Meaning, Red Rush can move at 545 to 655 times the speed of sound. So using this, we can say that Omni-Man was moving about this fast during this fight, as he was able to somewhat keep up with Red Rush, and Immortal and War Woman were somehow able to keep up with Omni-Man. Remember, I gotta highball them, so let's just say the two of them were about a quarter as fast as Red Rush, which isn't too much of a stretch, as most of them can fly into space, with the speed needed to escape the Earth being Mach 34. So let's just say Immortal, War Woman, and let's throw Bulletproof in there because I like him, can move at about Mach 140. I can't get them any higher than that without wanking them, so let's just leave it at that. Next, we gotta cover the AP of the average Guardian. What I gotta do to find that out is find out how strong robot suits are. Robots with these suits are able to fly into outer space very easily, and with the speed needed to do that being Mach 34, we can just say that they can move that fast. Anyways, let's just assume that each suit is about 150 kilograms without somebody in it, and that it takes 10 seconds to reach outer space. The suit will be experiencing 3 to 5 Gs of force. Converted to power and energy, that's about 6.1 megajoules. to 11 megajoules of energy and 615 kilowatts to 1.15 megawatts of power. In power scaling terms, this would be wall to large building level. I'm not gonna bore you with the calculations, but here it is if you're interested. Meru, why are you bringing this up? You might be asking with your cigarette in your mouth, probably. Well, some fodder guardians and heroes were able to keep up with these suits on multiple occasions, so I'll just place the average guardian at wall to building level in terms of AP, with most of these fodder guardians, if not all of them, having superhuman speed. The true heavy hitters being Mark and Nolan and Eve are most likely going to be the ones doing the most damage, so let's see how strong they are. Durability. Invincible in his fight with Universa tanked a blast which Universa said could destroy a city with 0 damage, and he also survived the explosion of Las Vegas without much injury. And yet in Season 3, Eve was able to fry Conquest, who is tiers stronger, faster, and more durable than Invincible, meaning a full power blast from Eve would have island level AP. I can't go any higher than this without any more evidence, so I'm kinda happy with this. As for speed, we can just say Eve is about as fast as Bulletproof, since she's somewhat able to keep up with Invincible, even though he doesn't go full speed. Now to get into Invincible and Omni-Man. I'm not even gonna open that can of worms, so let's just say this. It takes 3 of the strongest Viltrumites to run through a planet with a destabilized core, but cause I wanna have fun, let's just slap a planetary on both of them. Now, for their biggest advantage against the 10 Commandments, speed. I know you've heard it a million times already, so I won't waste your time and just say Omni-Man is millions of times the speed of light. Doesn't matter how much, since it's still beyond anything I could ever wank for the 10 Commandments. So we'll just leave it at that. Now that I started to tackle these two, I just got an idea. Let's do this in 2 phases. Phase 1, the Guardians of the Globe without Mark and Nolan, and Phase 2, Guardians of the Globe along with Mark and Nolan. Let's keep things interesting, why don't we? Remember, this is for fun. Don't attack me. Cool? Cool. Okay, so now that I'm the first person on YouTube to scale the Guardians of the Globe, let's get into the scaling of the 10 Commandments, shall we? To scale the 10 Commandments, we would first need to scale the lower ranked demons. First and foremost, the red demons. It is the weakest of the relevant demons with a power level of 1000. Yes, 7 deadly sins as power levels. Yes, I will be using these power levels to scale up to the 10 Commandments. Okay, back to the red demon. Hendrickson with the power of a red demon was able to match the 7 deadly sins in power, with Bien at this point in time being able to generate mountain level AP, being on par with Meliodas, who was able to catch a spear that destroyed a town without any problem. I don't even know how to phrase that in any better terms. English is not my first language, so forgive me. A normal red demon was also able to burn down the entirety of the Fairy King's forest, although keep in mind, this was done over time, not in a single instant. So let's just use a low ball and say that the red demon is small town level to be safe. Grey demons are stronger than red demons and have way more devastating powers, such as Dark Snow, Dark Nebula, etc. So let's just place them at a town level, since it took Gil Thunder, Greyamore, and Hauser to just match its power, and these 3 are able to easily beat red demons, with the 3 of them all heavy power levels that near 2000. So I'm okay with town level. Let's move on. Great Beast Albion, the war monsters created by the demon race to fight their wars, obviously. But how strong is an Albion? A single Albion was threatening to level all of Camelot. I actually don't know if it's the capital or the actual country, but judging from this picture, I feel confident in saying it's most likely a capital, but who cares. Another Albion in the Fairy King's forest was also able to do this. I'll just lowball it and say it's town level, meaning a single strike from an Albion is wiping out all of the Guardians except for the heavy hitters. Not to mention, these city-destroying demons have blast attacks that they can fire from their mouths, which would confidently destroy large cities. And these demons each have a power level of around 5500, and the average commandment is about 5 to 6 times stronger than an Albion, and that's for the lesser commandments like Gallant, Grey Road, Fraudrin, and Melascula. So if we're scaling up, then the lesser of the 10 commandments are all around island to country level. The higher end commandments are confidently country level, with Estarossa and Zeldris at full power being country plus. That's impressive, but it's still below Omni-Man and Mark. But that won't really matter, as Viltrumites are killed by people much weaker than this. Okay, let's get into the speed of the commandments. And to do so, we're going to have to look at one of the most underrated characters in the whole show, Gil Thunder. At the beginning of the series, when Gil Thunder was evil, he was moving as fast as his lightning bolts, and Meliodas was able to keep up and outpace Gil on multiple occasions. And some people might bring up the spear throw argument, but that was Gil's throwing strength. And if you watch the show, you'll see that Meliodas, without lightning powers, was able to throw the spear just as fast, if not faster than Gil. Granted, he did use the momentum of the spear to do so, but that doesn't really matter. Back to the lightning. There are two speed metas that we can use for lightning, one being 98,000 miles per hour and the other being a third of the speed of light. So we're going to use the first one as a low ball and the second one as a high ball. Converting these to Mach speeds, it comes out to around Mach 297 to Mach 330,000. To find out the speed of the average commandment, we use the power levels once more. To keep my numbers nice and round, I'll be rounding off Gil's power level at this point to 2000. So dividing this power by the power level of the commandments, it comes out to the commandments being around 13 to 30 times faster than Gil on average. So let's plug in these numbers and we get the commandments being Mach 3861 to Mach 8910 as a low ball, to being 4 times faster than light to 10 times faster than light as a high ball. They are faster than Red Rush and the rest of the Guardians by a long shot, excluding these two of course. But other than their physicality, the commandments' greatest assets are their miasma and their commandments obviously. The miasma from high-ranking demons such as these is enough to kill a normal person and knock out even someone as strong as Diane and Gother. So off-rip, that's killing most of the Guardians of the globe. Even without their magic, they are still able to extract souls of people and eat them. So if they wanted to, they could easily kill any of the heavy hitters in an instant. And now you might be wondering, how are they gonna catch Mark and Nolan? Well, that's where the commandments come in. Starting with the most busted one of them all, the commandment of pacifism, held by Grey Road. If any of the Guardians kill someone in front of Grey Road, they will have their time stolen. Doesn't matter how fast they are or how strong they are. There's only one person surviving, it's immortal. But, come on, it's immortal. What the fuck is he gonna do? And now you may be wondering, how are they gonna win if they can't kill anyone? Well, they won't have to kill anyone because of Estarossa, who holds the commandment of love that causes anyone with hostility towards him be unable to cause harm towards anyone else. And it was shown that the commandments can all fight without hatred in their hearts. And also, I just remembered that Grey Road's commandment didn't affect Estarossa, so I guess it doesn't affect the other commandments as well. So yeah, with just those two alone, you can see why the Guardians get cooked. But let's do this and get it over with. The commandments pull up to a random ass city and start eating people's souls. Cecil alerts the Guardians and they pull up to see the commandments posted up, looking clean as hell. Seeing this and the destruction caused, the Guardians try their best to stop the commandments, only to fail miserably. Feeling they aren't worth their time, they send out demons to finish them off, only for Invincible to pull up and knock them all out. Invincible is very vulnerable emotionally, meaning he's getting got by love, leaving him open to have his soul stolen. Seeing his son's soul about to be eaten, Omni-Man wouldn't hesitate and fly through whatever was extracting his son's soul, killing it, only for him to die, turning to dust due to Greygo's commandment. So yeah, even with those two, the Guardians get out-hacked heavily, so they get low-diffed. This wasn't even a contest. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll try to post more often, I swear. Anyways, have a nice day, and I'll see you all in my next video. See ya, bitches and bros.
La vida es un carrusel, 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 carrusel. La vida es un carrusel, la vida es un carrusel.